Hi, it's John though, aka Frags with the DNB Academy, and welcome to another sound recreation video. For this one, we got Most Gangsta by The Sauce. It's a really classic, like Bristol sort of tech drum and bass, which we'd like to call it. And yeah, let's take a listen to the original, and then you'll probably figure out by the MIDI we got laid down over here which bass we're gonna be recreating. So let's go. Yeah, this is it. So let's just now take all that low end out and listen to this with our recreation on top of it. So yeah, this is pretty much it, guys. Now let's dive into Serum to show you what we got. Alright, to kick things off, we're gonna start with probably one of the most fundamental wavetables here. 3 octaves down. We're gonna go into either, it's kind of up to you, either a sine wave or analog BD syn. They're kind of similar, so we're gonna go with this one for now. Alright. And then on the oscillator B, we also gonna use a sine wave. But on this one, we're gonna set the warping mode to band plus and negative. The volume all the way down. Also the random phase on both of these. And here, we're gonna create FM from B. So this space is gonna be also a lot around that, okay? So let's hear what it sounds like at this point. Pretty stale, right? It's just like pretty much just some sine waves playing kind of with nothing else going on. Okay, so now let's just add a filter. We're gonna go into a band 12 for now. We can change it in a bit. And we need to kind of start designing the sort of shape that the guys got going on here. So we're gonna start doing that, all right? We're gonna start making like a rampish, sort of like this. And then we kind of go. And that would be cool if you would set, obviously, the rate and the trigger mode. And assign this, for instance, to the FM from B section here. So we can actually hear sort of like the movement that's going on here. Let's get this 1 octave lower here. All right, so we want to make this a little bit faster here, okay? Bear with me. This is like, if you really want to match it to the Sauce's sound here, this is important that you kind of like nail it down as best as you can. But obviously, if you want to recreate something, is one thing. If you want to make it your own, is another. So, should be something like this. We'll fine tune this later. Okay, now let's set this to band 24. It gets deeper down there, so that's what we're gonna use. And we're gonna assign the LFO we just created here, and we're gonna assign it to our main filter, because that's kind of what we want to do with it, right? It's all about placing this in the spot that you're cool with, right? Now we can just to find the right tone. It's up to you, and just like put this wherever you want, honestly. But something like this resembles a bit more the original, right? Just like tweaking the shape here, a little curve here and there, so we can hear this first hit a little bit better. Cool. We're gonna go back here in a second. But first, but before we leave to the effects, we're just gonna make our sub like go out straight out of the mix, and with the same shape as we're pretty much doing everything else, so we can get like a more clean signal from our sub without all the processing. let's get into the processing, speaking of it. First things first, we're gonna get some hyperdimension here, but just a dimension, a tiny bit. We want to wind it up a tiny bit. Then we're gonna go with some distortion into hard clip mode. Just take it at like as far as you can go with it without getting too much distortion. You see? Also trying to crank this up a little bit here on the master. Cool. It's looking good, looking good. Now let's go with a little bit of chorus. You know, I'm a big fan of using chorus on like loads of these bass designs, but this time I'm gonna go with a high pass filter. So we can just, whenever we open up the filter, we're gonna get like more of these chorus delays happening. So it's gonna be cool, trust me. And then what we can pretty much do is also compress these. Gonna bring them up a little bit with the gain, multiband mode here. We're gonna slowly increase these bands up until we can, where we can, like. Yeah, it's pretty much as far as we can go without distortion. That's kind of like one of our main goals. All right, guys. So next step here on the effects tab is to add just a tiny bit of a filter, because we want to control some of those harsher parts that happen on the mid tops. So we kind of want to go there with a little bit of filtering. So I'm going to put like a low pass, standard one. I'm also going to make this the same shape as our, like everything. You see, we're able to give it a little bit more of rasp, actually, because we also have the chance to increase the drive here a bit. We can pick up on those harmonics way better. Okay, then you can take like sort of like not a creative decision, but like it sounds different if you put the compressor after the filter or before. So it's kind of like up to you, right? Let's wrap up this patch with some processing outside of Serum, because obviously this is something that you have to be aware is. You can always come back here and like just a tiny flip of a knob on the filter, for instance, changes the sound completely. And you could, for instance, just add a little bit of noise, some white noise with the same shape if you wanted to have something a little bit dirtier, I would say. If you run it here. But it's like up to you, obviously. Okay, so let's just do those two processing bits here before wrapping the patch up. I really want to OTT this because I feel like we kind of need to get the best out of it, even though we already kind of did that on the master. I mean on the FX tab of Serum, but here is different. So we just applied it, as you can see. I can bring back these tops and mids. Such a cool way. And take out like the tops that we don't really want. And now some Pro Q to wrap it up. Because there's like a kind of annoying peak going on here. Because of the OTT, we can take care of it by just like creating a super steep notch. You can barely hear it now. Now we boost a bit of these mids. We take some of these 500 Hertz-ish frequencies. Let's make this a little bit wider. And we can always go back to our Serum. And just see, like, even bringing this down a bit can make this sound better, or just taming down the compressor a bit on the tops here. filter. It's like really up to you. Just come here, experiment with all the possibilities we have within these patches, and yeah, just make the most out of it. Okay, let's hear how this sounds on top of the original. So there we go. Yeah, this is it guys. I hope you enjoyed it once again, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace!